Welcome back. The Director General of the Mossad, Mr. Mossad, has appeared before a Senate investigative panel a day after the committee threatened to issue an arrest warrant on him if he fails to show up today. The Senate Joint Committee on Navy, Maritime and Finance is investigating the activities of a private security firm, Ocean Marine Services Limited, and other security agencies at the safe area in Lagos. The committee had invited Mr. Mossad to give information on the contract with an Israeli firm to provide equipment meant to safeguard Nigeria's waterways.
The long-term vision for us, both as NIMASA and in the maritime sector, under the Ministry of Transportation and the country, is to provide security for every vessel trading within our coastal waters. That's the long-term vision for us. And that is what is accepted globally. Not a situation where you protect a tiny part of your waters and expose the rest. And what we have done is that with the consent of the Federal Executive Council, with the backing of the Federal Ministry of Transportation, we have put together a new project called the Deep Blue Project. And I keep listening to people misunderstand the Deep Blue Project and saying that we have hired Israelis to come and man our waterways. Very far from the truth. The Deep Blue Project has three components. Component number one is that we hired a firm to help us bring in assets and we pay over time. Component number one. Special purpose vessels, special mission helicopters, special mission aircraft, fast interceptor vessels, armored vessels to patrol the littoral areas. And of course, those are the assets, and of course, a command and control center. Those are the assets for which we are going to pay over time.
Now let's find out what's happening in the world of business. Teniola is standing by.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies have kicked off their much-anticipated meeting in Vienna, the Austrian capital, with expectations raised over whether the alliance will make further cuts to its output. The 14 members global oil-producing group and its non-members producers, collectively known as OPEC+, led by Russia, are expected to at least keep production cuts at their current level of 1.2 million barrels per day through to June 2020 after the current agreement expires in March. OPEC, which begins its two-day meeting today, will be joined by its non-member allies on Friday, that's tomorrow, with a final decision likely in the afternoon. Meanwhile, crude oil prices have been fluctuating today as traders await the decision from OPEC on its production policy. International oil price benchmark Brent crude futures gained 44 cents to hit $63.45 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate was unchanged at $58.43. Oil briefly gave back its gains after Russian Energy Minister Alexander Novak told Bloomberg that the deeper cuts would only be implemented if each member complies with its current production quota. Now let's get the details of the stock market. Ekaite Afia has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The stock market remains negative for a fourth consecutive session this week, as profit-taking on four banking giants led to an additional 12 billion naira drop in the NSE's overall value today. Losses on the shares of Access, FBN Holdings, UBA, as well as GT Bank overshadowed gains from the consumer goods counter and contributed largely to the 0.67% decline on the banking sub-index, while the all-share index reacted with a 0.09% drop. Performance on the price chart ended Thursday with a negative margin of 19 gainers, led by 10% loss on Cornerstone share price, against 8 gainers, led by 9.09% increase from Chams. Meanwhile, investors' appetite for stocks increased by 94.88 million units compared to Wednesday's session, as 207.26 million shares changed hands in more than 3,800 transactions, led primarily by the shares of UACN. And that's the stock market report. I'm Ekaita Afia. Back to you, Tenny.
Thanks, Akaite. Now, stock market on Wall Street closed over an hour ago, slightly higher as investors digest strong employment data while monitoring US-China trade negotiations. Here are some snapshots of global market indexes for Thursday. That's business news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Teniola Shobawale. Back to you, Melinda.
You First. First Bank.
Many thanks, Teniola. Ifeoluwa Ademuwa, a student of Chrisfield College, Ikorodu, Lagos, has emerged the winner of the Lagos State Private Schools Spelling Bee competition sponsored by MTN Pulse. He also got the opportunity to play the role of MTN CEO, an experience, he says, was an eye-opener.
The search for the MTN First Kid CEO has ended, and these children are the finalists. 14-year-old Ifeoluwa Ademuwa emerges as the winner, and he's excited to play his role.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Adeola Ademuwa Ifeoluwa, the CEO of MTN for today. I'd like to welcome you guys to this important occasion. Thank you all for coming.
The Lagos State Private Schools Spelling Bee competition is the first of its kind by MTN Pulse, and it had over 70 private schools participating in it. The competition is an opportunity for MTN to help build the grammar and vocabulary skills of young Nigerians, and they're happy with the first outcome.
He's a bright kid, only 14, but look at the way he is carrying himself with great responsibility. And the way he speaks, you could make out that, he looks beyond today.
He's fantastic, I think he's really confident. Personally, he gives me, so much hope, belief that Nigeria's future is, we're there. I'm really proud of him.
One by one, prizes are presented to the children. 100,000 naira to the runner-ups and 500,000 naira to the winner. Chrisfield College, Ikorodu, which is the winner's school, also receives learning materials. For Ifeoluwa, it was an enlightening experience.
A popular saying goes that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I worked hard and I played hard at the same time. My cheekbones are paining me right now.
MTN Pulse is a teen proposition launched by MTN Nigeria to equip students between the ages of 9 and 15 years with the resources they need to maximize their potential.
Still ahead on the news at 10, U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House will file impeachment charges against President Trump for alleged abuse of power, an allegation the U.S. president has denied. We have that on Around the World in 5. Plus, English Premier League side Everton sack manager Marco Silva. That will be on Sports News. Stay with us.